So before we start, please everyone mark your presence. Be quick, mark your presence. Okay, so let's start. First of all, we all need to understand what HCF and LCM is, right? So we will do the theory first and then we will move on to practice questions. So when it comes to LCM, its full form is least common multiple, which means the smallest number which is a multiple of all the numbers. And when it comes to HCF, it is the highest common factor, which means we need to find the largest factor of the given number, or we can also say largest divisor of the given number. So HCF is also known as GCD. So we may come across any of the term in the exam. So GCD means greatest common divisor. So if I take like couple of examples to explain the concept of LCM and HCF. So let's take a number like 2 and 3. If we are required to find LCM of 2 and 3, although we all know the answer, right? But let's try to figure out how do we get the answer. If I write down all the multiples of 2, which are 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on, and likewise all the multiples of 3, which are 3, 6, 9, 12, and so on, the smallest number that appears in both the series, right, will be the LCM of 2 and 3. So we can clearly see 6 is the number which appears in both the series. So LCM of 2 and 3 comes out to be 6. Now when I say LCM of 2 and 3 is 6, please keep in mind 6 is the least common multiple. Or I can also say all the multiples of 6 will be common multiples of 2 and 3, right? So this is a very critical and important information which I just said. All the multiples of 6 are going to be the multiples, common multiples of 2 and 3. And out of them, the least number will be 6. So likewise, if we talk about HCF or GCD, let's say we have two numbers like 10 and 12, and we are required HCF of 10 and 12. Again, I know we all know the answers. But when it comes to finding the divisor of 10 and 12, we need to write down all the numbers which can divide 10. So the numbers are 1, 2, 5, and 10. Likewise, all the numbers that can divide 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. So the largest number that can divide both the numbers will be common among these two series. And we can clearly see the largest number that is common between both the series comes out to be 2. So here we are focusing on least number, and here we are focusing on maximum number, right? So this is the basic definition of LCM and HCF. Now, if a few numbers are given to me and we need to find their LCM and HCF, so we must know the process of finding LCM and HCF. So there is one method which we are taught in school to find LCM of all the numbers given to me. Let's say we are required LCM of 4, 6, 8, 15, 18, and 20. So what we used to do in school was we used to write them in a straight line, and then we start dividing by the smallest prime number that we can see in the given numbers. So if we divided by 2, it is 2 2s are 4, 2 3s are 6, 2 4s are 8. So 15 will be as it is. 2 9s are 18, 2 10s are 20. So you keep dividing by 2 till the time you see any even number over there. So again on dividing by 2, 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4, 2 fives are 10. So the numbers which are not getting divided, they will be written the way it is. Still I can see a 2 here. So it becomes 1, 3, 1, 15, 9 and 5. Now I will move on to next prime number that can divide any of these leftover 4 values, because objective is to get 1 at all these places. So when we divide it by 3, 3 ones are 3, 3 fives are 15, 3 threes are 9 and 5 will be as it is. Still we can see a 3 here. We need to divide it again by 3. So 3 ones are 3 and 5 will be like this. Now we can clearly see they can be divided by 5. So the moment I got all these ones here, we will stop the process. And the LCM of all these numbers comes out to be product of all the values written here in this vertical line. So in this column, it will be the product of all the values, which comes out to be 2 into 2 into 2 into 3 into 3 into 5. So we can also collate the values and we can say it is 2 cube into 3 square into 5, or we can multiply all these values. So like 9 fours are 36 into 10 is 360, which is the least common multiple of all the values given to me. So in the exam, if it is asked to you in how many steps by using long division method you can find LCM of these six numbers. So they are the number of steps we need to count. So this is step 1, this is step 2, this is step 3, step 4, step 5 and step 6. So in 6 steps by using long division method we can find LCM of all the numbers. So this question appeared in CAT for HCF, so that's why I am explaining this thing for LCM also. So this process of finding LCM is very easy, but it should be clear to each and every student because such a basic question appears in CAT. The reasoning should be clear. So be quick and tell me, I hope this much is clear to each and every student. Hello Anirban, hello. Be quick with the response, I am waiting. This part is clear to each and every student. Okay, so let's move on to HCF. So let's say if we are given two numbers like 24 and 56 and we are required to find HCF of these two numbers. So the method that we learned in school, we will keep the larger number as a dividend and the smaller number as a divisor. So we will divide it. So 24 into 2 is 48. So difference of these two comes out to be 8. Now we will keep this as divisor and now this number becomes our dividend. So it will be now 24 divided by 8. So 8 times 3 is 24 and the remainder comes out to be 0. The divisor for which you got 0 as a remainder. So this is the divisor which gave us 0 as the remainder. So this divisor will be the HCF of the given numbers. So HCF of 24 and 56 comes out to be 8. Now this was the question that was asked in CAT 2014. And please keep in mind the question was in how many steps by using long division method we can find HCF of the two numbers. And here this will be step 1 and this will be step 2. So answer in this case comes out to be 2 steps. So this is the basic method of finding LCM and HCF. Right Akash, right Muskan, good, good. Right Krishan, right Sahil. Good evening Sahil, good evening. Okay, now let's scale it up So when it comes to finding LCM of few numbers, so instead of using the standard methods that we used to do in our school days, what we can do is if we are required LCM of let's say 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 18 and 20. What I will be looking at is what all prime numbers are factors of these numbers. So we can clearly see 2, 3 and 5 are the only factors of these numbers. Now when it comes to writing LCM of these, I will take the highest power of 2, 3 and 5 in these numbers. Like 4 contains 2 square, 6 is 2 into 3, 8 contains 2 cube. Now among all other values, I cannot see fourth power of 2 which is 16. So the power of 2 that is highest among all is 3. Likewise, we will check the power of 3 among all the numbers. Now 6 contains 3 raised to power 1, 12 contains 3 raised to power 1, but 18 contains 3 raised to power 2, so in LCM it will be 3 square. Likewise, when it comes to 5, we can go up to 5 raised to power 1 only because 5 square in itself is 25 and that is not there in the list. So LCM of all these numbers comes out to be 2 cube into 3 square into 5 raised to power 1. Right? So while taking LCM of all the numbers, we take highest powers of each prime number. Right? Good evening, lovely, good evening. So now we need to understand why we are taking highest power. So I am taking you back. So this is very important to understand the reasoning. So how many times do we need to divide the given set of numbers by 2 till the time all 2's get exhausted in the list? Right? And all 2's will get exhausted in the list when the number containing highest power of 2 gives me no even value further. Because 8 contains 2 cube, so we need to do this step 3 times. When it comes to 3, likewise, when all the 3's get exhausted, so this 18 contains 3 square, so we need to divide it by 3 square. Likewise for 5, right? So these are the only numbers which contain 5 raised to power 1, so we need to divide it by 5 only once. So that's why we got this as an LCM, right? So in case of LCM, we need to take highest powers of all primes. If we can do it orally, it's fine. But if you find it difficult to do it orally like this, the way I did, you can always prime factorize the given numbers. Like 4 is 2 square, 6 is 2 into 3, 8 is 2 cube, 10 is 2 into 5, 12 is 2 square into 3, 18 is 2 into 3 square, and 20 is 2 square into 5. If we observe the highest power of 2 among all, we can see it is 2 cube, so take this entire value here. If we observe the power of 3 among all the numbers, it is the highest here, which is 3 square, so take the power of 3 as 2. The power of 5 is here, and in both the cases it is 1, so consider 5 raised to power 1 in case of LCM. Likewise, when it comes to HCF, so let's say if I am required to find HCF of all these numbers, in that case we will take least power of all prime numbers that are common among all. As we can see, all the numbers are even, so we must take 2 raised to power 1. So this number is made up of only and only 2 square. It is not a multiple of 3. So in HCF, I cannot have 3. So I will write as 3 raised to power 0. So this number contains 5, but not all numbers contains 5. So the power of 5 is again going to be 0. And the least power of 2 we can say is in 6, which is 2 raised to power 1, or in 10, which is 2 raised to power 1. So in case of HCF, we will take least powers of each prime number, right? Or you can express these numbers in this form. So we can see the only prime numbers appear here are 2, 3, and 5. And the only common number among all is 2. So 3 and 5 are not available everywhere. So I will only consider 2 and the least power of 2. Here we have 2, here it is 1, 3, 1, 2, 1 and 2. So least among all is 2 raised to power 1. So HCF comes out to be 2 for all these numbers. So guys, please tell me, I hope this much part is clear. Good evening, Neha. Good evening. If any student has a doubt in this, do let me know. Now, there are multiple ways of finding LCM and HCF. By keeping few facts in your mind, so let me draw a line here. So in any case, if we come across any two consecutive numbers, so I'm writing them as n and n plus 1. So this is another standard question which came in CAT. So if there are any two consecutive numbers, their LCM is always going to be product of these two numbers. Like you take 2 and 3, you take 4 and 5, you take 7 and 8, you take 20 and 21. If the two numbers are consecutive, their LCM is always the product of the two numbers. And when it comes to HCF, their HCF is always equivalent to 1. So please keep this basic in your mind. It will speed up your process of finding LCM and HCF. Sonia, these are separate classes as compared to the regular course classes that are going on. Right, so this is a series of sessions wherein I am going to cover entire number system. So a couple of classes are already done. Along with that, I am going to answer a lot of queries of students which you guys keep posting, right? So if you just started today, no issues. So things will be taken care of. Sahil, Neha, clear है सभी को? Is it done? Anirvan, Krishan, किसी को अगर कुछ डाउट है तो प्लीज लेट मी नो. Right. So now let's move on. So now if we come across a bit larger numbers like this, so if we have to find their LCM and HCF, so the method which we just discussed becomes very easy to find LCM or HCF. So we just need to take the higher powers of 2, 3, 5 in case of LCM. So the power of 2 is bigger here, the power of 3 comparing to 2 is bigger here, and the power of 5 is bigger here. So in LCM, we will come across 2 raised to power 4 into 3 raised to power 4 into 5 raised to power 4. Likewise, when it comes to HCF, we need to take smaller powers. So the power of 2 is smaller here, the power of 3 is smaller there, and the power of 5 is smaller here. And it comes out to be 2 cube into 3 square into 5 square. So if we have two numbers A and B in any case, their product is always equivalent to product of their LCM and HCF. So it's a standard relation between the two numbers and their LCM and HCF. Please keep in mind it is always true for exactly two numbers. If there are more than two numbers, then there are multiple possibilities, right? It may or may not be equal. Then we need to insert conditions so that the two are always equal, right? Now, this is another very important part of finding LCM of fractions. So when there are fractions like a upon b and c upon d, and we have to take their LCM. So I have seen students doing mistake like this. So if there is LCM required of 2 by 3 and 4 by 5, so they take LCM of 3 and 5, which is 15, then 2 5s are 10, and then 4 3s are 12, and they write 22 by 15 as an answer. This is wrong. Please keep in mind there is no plus sign here. If there is a plus sign, then we do these steps to find the sum of these two. This method is to find sum of fractions and not LCM. So please do not follow this. In order to find LCM of fractions, we need to take LCM of the values in the numerator divided by HCF of the values in the denominator. And in case of HCF, it will be HCF of the values in the numerator divided by LCM of the values in the denominator. Like if I am required LCM of 5 by 4, 7 by 3, I will take LCM of 5 and 7 in the numerator divided by HCF of 4 and 3 in the denominator. So it comes out to be 35 upon 1, which is 35. And if we are required HCF, it will be HCF of 5 and 7 in the numerator and LCM of 4 and 3 in the denominator, which comes out to be 1 by 12. So please keep this method always in your mind. It is very, very, very important. And we are required it in case of ratios, in case of time, speed, distance, to solve many questions with these. So I hope this is clear. Sahil, when we will be doing DILR, so we will be discussing that also. Otherwise, are you there in our official Telegram group? If any student is still not there in the Telegram group, the link is shared and pinned. Please click on the link and join the official Telegram group of Gradeup. Right? So other than academics, जो भी आपके doubts हैं, we will answer it in that Telegram group. Right? So वहाँ पर आप personally you can call me also on Telegram. So we will discuss. Right? Okay, so let's move on. So I'm going to erase it. Now, in any case, if I say HCF of A and B is 2, now we need to understand that it means A is a multiple of 2 as well as B is a multiple of 2. And the only common factor between A and B is 2, which means there is no common factor between X and Y. Hence, we can say if I am writing A equal to X, B equal to Y, then HCF of X and Y is 1. This is a very, very, very important property of HCF. और ये सभी को समझ आना चाहिए. If anyone among you has a doubt in this, please let me know. We will be using it multiple times, right? और ये सबको क्लियर होना चाहिए. अगर कोई भी दो नंबर है जिनका HCF आपको 2 दे रखा है, इट मींस 2 ही उनका कॉमन फैक्टर है और कुछ भी कॉमन फैक्टर नहीं है. आई होप दिस इज क्लियर. साहिल, कृष्ण, नेहा, निर्वाण, सोनिया, आकाश, सनी, एरन, मोनिका, लवलीन, सबको क्लियर है. मुस्कान. Sonia, if there are two numbers, let's say 10 and 12, can I say 10 is 2 into 5 and 12 is 2 into 6? अगर इनका HCF 2 है तो जो बची हुई वैल्यूज हैं 5 and 6, इनका HCF must be equal to 1 and we can verify this is a fact. This is the basic definition of HCF. When you take out the highest common factor, right, so the HCF of rest of the values will be 1. Okay, good. right? So let's move on. So if we are required LCM of 20, 24 and 36, the very first thing we need to do is factorize these numbers. Alright, so 20 can be written as 2 square into 5, 4 into 5 is 20, 24 is 8 into 3 and 8 is 2 cube into 3, 36 is 4 into 9 which is 2 square into 3 square. So basically in order to be quick with LCM and HCF, we should be pretty comfortable with factorizing the numbers. आप जितनी जल्दी नंबर्स को फैक्टराइज कर पाओगे आपका जॉब उतना इजी हो जाएगा. So we need to do a lot of practice on memorizing the factorized form of the numbers quickly. Right? Now in order to do the same at a faster pace, what you have to do is please memorize the powers of 2 starting from 1 up to 10. So this is the bare minimum thing each and every student must do. So like 2 raised to power 1 is 2, 2 square is 4, 2 cube is 8, 2 raised to power 4 is 16, 2 raised to power 5 is 32, 2 raised to power 6 is 64, 2 raised to power 7 is 128, 2 raised to power 8 is 256, 2 raised to power 9 is 512, 2 raised to power 10 is 1024. So this is the bare minimum everyone must memorize. Likewise, the power of 3 starting from 1 up to 8 are required. So 3 raised to power 1 is 3, 3 square is 9, 3 cube is 27, 3 raised to power 4 is 81, 3 raised to power 5 is 243, 3 raised to power 6 is 729, 3 raised to power 7 is 2187, 3 raised to power 8 is 6561. Right? So if you will be doing all these, if you are done with 2, it means you are also done with 4 raised to power 1 up to 4 raised to power 5. Right? Then we need to move on for the powers of 5 from 1 to 6 are required. Powers of 6 from 1 to 6 are required. Powers of 7 from 1 to 4 are required. Alright, so when we are done with the powers of 2, the powers of 8 are also taken care of. Alright, then the moment we are done with the powers of 3, the powers of 9 are also taken care of. So like this is 9 raised to power 1, 9 square, 9 cube, 9 raised to power 4. Alright, if I talk about 8, it is 8 raised to power 1. It is 8 raised to power 2. It is 8 raised to power 3. Right? So multiple numbers will be covered when you do the powers of 2 to 9. So this is the bare minimum each and every student must do. I hope the message is clear. Monica, that was a generic case. कुछ भी आप उठा सकते हो. There is no limiting factor because when we are considering numbers, तो number तो कुछ भी लिए जा सकते हैं ना. कोई limitation नहीं है. But when I am quoting an example by taking a number, I am basically talking about generic cases. All right. Okay, now. So moving further. So in order to take LCM of these three, we need to take highest power of 2, highest power of 3 and highest power of 5. So the LCM comes out to be 2 cube into 3 square into 5 raised to power 1. Likewise, when we have to find HCF of 120 and 180. अगर आप जल्दी सोच सकते हो कि 120 is 60 into 2, 180 is 60 into 3 और आपको दिख रहा है that 60 is the common factor. 2 और 3 में कुछ भी कॉमन नहीं है. Right? So HCF of 2 and 3 is 1, which means HCF of 120 and 180 comes out to be 60 only. I hope question number 2 is clear, because instead of factorizing 120 and 180, I am giving you a different thought कि अगर आपको दिखता है कि आप इन्हें 60 into 2, 60 into 3 लिख सकते हो, तो job would be much easier. Right? So in third he says if the HCF of two numbers is 28 and the HCF of other two numbers is 42, then find the HCF of these four numbers. Another standard question which came in different exams. कैट में आ चुका है बहुत बार. सो अगर आपको दो नंबर्स का 28 दे रखा है और किसी और दो नंबर्स का 42 दे रखा है तो चारों का HCF क्या होगा? HCF of 28 and 42 only. Right, so 28 is 2 square into 7, 42 is 2 into 3 into 7, so the common factor is 7 and 1 2, so HCF comes out to be 2 into 7 which is 14, or if you can think of 28 is 14 into 2, 42 is 14 into 3, so यहीं पर आप कॉल ले सकते हो कि इन दोनों का HCF will be 14. Is it done everyone? Please keep responding side by side so that I know सभी को समझ आ रहा है, because these are very 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 basic things. I don't want कि किसी को इन चीजों में mistake हो. And they are the questions which appears in CAT or any other exam. Although they are very easy, but mistake नहीं होना चाहिए. So I am just rewriting this concept. So let's say there are four numbers A, B, C, D. If HCF of A and B is X, HCF of C and D is Y, then HCF of A, B, C and D will be equivalent to HCF of X and Y. It's a generic case, it is always true. So whether there are four numbers, three numbers, five numbers, six numbers, right, it is always true. Okay, good. So let's move on. Now here it says if the ratio of two numbers is 15 is to 11 and their HCF is 13, then find the numbers. Now if the ratio between these two is 15 is to 11, they are already in their lowest form and we can see their HCF is 1. Then the two numbers must be 13 into 15 and 13 into 11. So 13 into 15 comes out to be 195. 13 into 11 comes out to be 143. There is only one answer, option D, which matches it. So I am using the same concept again here. If HCF of A and B is 2, then if I am writing A as 2x and B as 2y, then HCF of x and y is 1. So in this case, x and y are given to me as 15 and 11. And HCF of the two is given to me as 13. So the two numbers must be 13 into 15 and 13 into 11. So please check कर लो सभी को clear है, लिंक बना पा रहे हैं सभी स्टूडेंट्स. I hope किसी को भी प्रॉब्लम नहीं होना चाहिए. But still, if you want more on this, we can discuss. Right. Okay, then let's move on. Now in 50 says the product of two numbers is 84 and their HCF is 2. Find the LCM of such two numbers. As we have discussed it earlier, that product of two numbers is always equivalent to product of their LCM and HCF. So if the product of two numbers is 84 and HCF is 2, then the LCM of two numbers comes out to be 84 upon 2, which is equivalent to 42. Now in B part it says find the number of such pairs. In order to find number of such pairs, we are given product of A and B is 84 and their HCF is 2, right? So if HCF of A and B is 2, I am writing A as 2. Instead of using X, I have used A here. Instead of using Y, I have just used B here. So small a will be 2A and small b will be 2B. Such that HCF of A and B is 1. That condition is always there. So this 4 get cancelled out, results in A into B equal 21. So we just need to write down all the possibilities such that A into B is 21. So we can say if A is 1, B is 21. If A is 3, B is 7. So now we need to check only those cases will be counted where an HCF of A and B is 1. So here the HCF is 1, it should be counted. Here the HCF is 1, so this should also be counted. So in this case, the number of such pairs comes out to be 2. Right? So if you are required to find the pairs, the moment we got the value of capital A, capital B, we can always calculate the value of small a and small b, which are the two numbers. So 2 into 1 and 2 into 21 comes out to be 2 and 42 are the two numbers. 2 into 3 is 6. 2 into 7 is 14. They are the other set of two numbers. So they are the pairs which will always satisfy the given set of equations. So please check it out. I hope ये clear है सभी को. Fifth question. So this is another question which has appeared in CAT exam, right? So fourth as well as 5. All these are CAT questions based on very basic concept of LCM HCF. Okay. Now here it says find the number of pairs of two numbers whose HCF is 5 and sum is 50. So let's take two numbers small a, small b, whose sum is 50. Because their HCF is 5, so I can write a as 5a and b as 5b, which equal 50. So 5 get cancelled out, gives me a plus b equal 10. Now we need to write down all the cases wherein sum of a and b is 10 and their HCF is 1. So 1 plus 9 is 10. 2 plus 8 is also 10, but the HCF of 2 and 8 is not 1. Both are even numbers, their HCF is 2, hence ruled out. 3 plus 7 is 10, wherein the HCF is 1. 4 plus 6 is also 10, but the HCF is not 1, so ruled out. 5 plus 5 is also like 10, but HCF is not 1, hence ruled out. So I have written only those cases wherein the HCF of two numbers is 1 and a plus b is 10. Now here it says find the number of pairs of two numbers. Please keep in mind these two cases are same. Values are repeating. Either I say 1 9 or 9 1, they are the same. 3 7 7 3, both are the same. So the number of pairs comes out to be only 2, which is the correct answer for this question. Now we need to understand there are two things. One is ordered pair and another is unordered pair. So ordered pair is the one in which 1 9 and 9 1 both are to be counted. 3 7 7 3 both are to be counted because in these cases order matters. So if this question says find the number of ordered pairs, then please keep in mind your answer will be 4. But if he says only pairs or if he specifies unordered pair, which means 1 9 and 9 1 are the same, so answer will be equivalent to 2. So this is another very common mistake that students do in exam. So please pen it down. इस चीज में कभी किसी स्टूडेंट से मिस्टेक नहीं होना चाहिए. This is very 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 important when it comes to understanding as per the instruction given to me in the question आंसर कैसे सही निकलेगा. राइट अगर आप पेयर्स वाले केस में 4 मार्क कर दोगे गलत है. ऑर्डर्ड पेयर वाले केस में 2 मार्क कर दोगे, still that will be considered wrong. Good evening Harish. So please check it out. I hope this is clear. The concept of ordered as well as unordered pair. Be quick with the response, everyone. Be quick. Krishan, Sahil, Neha, Nirvan, Monica, Sonia, Abhishek. Jaldi kiya karo respond. Is it done? Okay. Now there are another type of questions which appeared in exams again and again. So in question number 1 he says, find the largest possible number which when 60 with which when 60 and 98 are divided, it leaves the same remainder in each case. Now the basic property that we are going to use here is dividend equals divisor into quotient plus remainder. So 60 is the number which is getting divided, so it is called dividend. 98 is the number which is getting divided, so it is called dividend. They are divided by the same number, so I assumed it to be D. So if I divide 60 by D, there will be some quotient that again is unknown to me, so I wrote it as Q1. Likewise, when you divide 98 by D, the quotient must be something else, so I wrote it as Q2. But remainder is same in both the cases, so I wrote it as R and R. So in order to find the largest possible value of the divisor, which is D, right? So I just need to subtract these two equations. So 98 minus 60 comes out to be 38. R and R get cancelled out on subtraction, and it becomes D common between these two into Q2 minus Q1. Now we need to understand this equation. So Q2 minus Q1 comes out to be 38 divided by D. Because quotients are always integral values, so their difference must be an integral value, which means आपका D पूरा cancel out होना चाहिए 38 से, and we are required largest value of D. तो वो क्या होगी? ये number खुद ही होगा, right? So in this case, the largest possible number that can divide 60 and 98 and give same remainder comes out to be 38. On the other side, if we ask you how many values are possible, how many values of D are possible, then please keep in mind the values of D are always going to be factors of 38. All factors of 38 can be the values of D. So they came out to be 1, 2, 19 and 38 itself. So they are the four values which are possible. So please check it out. If any student has any doubt, do let me know. Right, Akash, right. Right. So ये देख लो एक बार, किसी को कोई डाउट तो नहीं है अब इसमें. I hope it is thoroughly clear. Okay, now in question number 2 he says, find the largest possible number with which when 38, 66 and 80 are divided, it leaves the same remainder in each case. So working on the same concept जो हमने question 1 में किया वही यहाँ करना है. So 38, 66 and 80 are three divisors. हमने यहाँ पर दो को subtract किया था, तो वैसे ही आप कोई दो को और कोई दो को subtract कर लो. So difference of these two is 28, difference of these two is 14. Now the required value of D will be the highest common factor of 28 and 14. Please keep that in mind now, right? So the value of D will be the HCF of 28 and 14, which comes out to be 14. If I ask you how many values are possible in this case, so they will be all factors of 14 now. So this is the 14 I am referring to. Is it done? So factors of 14 are 1, 2, 7 and 14. So answer comes out to be 4 values. In third he says, find the largest possible number which when divide 37 and 58 leaves a remainder of 2 and 3 respectively. So एक नंबर ने 37 को डिवाइड किया, रिमाइंडर इज 2, तो कहने से वो 35 को पूरा डिवाइड करेगा. 58 को डिवाइड किया, रिमाइंडर इज 3, सो 58 माइनस 3 इज 55, सो डेफिनेटली 55 को पूरा डिवाइड करेगा. So required answer in this case will be difference of these two, which comes out to be 20. So 20 is the largest possible number, which when divide 37 and 58 and leaves a remainder of 2 and 3 respectively. But we need to check क्या 20 remainders दे भी रहा है वो या नहीं, right? So if I divide 37 by 20, are we getting 2 as a remainder? Answer is no. If we divide 58 by 20, are we getting 3 as a remainder? Answer is no. So इस केस में आप क्या करोगे? Then the value will be a factor of 20 only. So 20, 10, 5, 4, 2 and 1. Now I need to check by 10. Again 10 is not satisfying. Then you will check by 5. So 5 when divide 37 remainder is 2. 5 when divide 58 remainder is 3. So in this case the largest possible value comes out to be 5. So ये please ध्यान में रखना when you are applying such a concept here, how it should be tackled with. So when the numbers are given to you, when remainders are given to you, right? So in that case, you have to check it out कि वो satisfy कर भी रहा है या नहीं. I hope it is clear. So this is another very common mistake जो students करते हैं while solving question number 3. Concept वही extend हो रहा है, but 3 में क्योंकि remainders are given to you, so you need to verify. If the largest value 20 is not giving you the remainders, we need to move on to the factors of 20. Harish, you came late. एक बार सारा वीडियो दोबारा से देखना, right? Now, here it says find the largest possible length of a tape which can measure 525, 1050, 1575 meter length of cloth in the minimum number of attempts without measuring the length of the cloth in a fraction of the tape length. So let's say the tape length is T and the number of times we are measuring it when multiplied with T must be equivalent to these values. Now he is asking me the largest possible length of T. So can I say N1 is equivalent to 525 upon T, N2 is equivalent to 1050 upon T, and N3 is equivalent to 1575 upon T. So the largest possible value of T will be such which divides all the three numbers. So effectively the question talks about HCF of 525, 1050 and 1575. So this is 525 into 1, this is 525 into 2, and this is 525 into 3, and we can see the HCF of these three comes out to be 525. So the largest possible length of the tape will be 525. And next it says in the above question also find the minimum number of attempts made to measure whole length of cloths. So to measure this, number of attempts will be 1. 525 upon 525 is 1. 1050 upon 525 is 2. And 1575 upon 525 is 3. So the total number of attempts comes out to be 1, 2 and 3, which is 6. Yes, so it is HCF, but I want you guys to understand why we are taking HCF. That is even more important. So that's why I wrote them in the form of equations, because usually students का doubt later on ये होता है आप HCF ले तो रहे हो, ले क्यों रहे हो, right? So that's what I am explaining here, that T is a value which should divide all three numbers, और सबसे बड़ा चाहिए तो HCF हो गया. Is it done? Okay, so likewise there are many more questions which we cover in regular classes, right? So Gradeup community guys is always there to help you stay updated with all major announcements for all MBA exams. Daily free quizzes and mini mocks are posted on Telegram group, as well as Gradeup app. So you all need to join the Telegram group. You all need to download the Gradeup app and subscribe to the CAT and MBA program, right? So that you can get all daily free quizzes and mini mocks. Now, Gradeup community also help you to engage with other MBA aspirants and always stay motivated. All right, so that's why it is very important to join the Telegram group for each and every student. So other important courses that are going on for 2020 are Mission MBA, Z 2021 decision making course. Now it's over. So GK and current affairs for IFT, Z, CMAT, MAT. A special course for GD, VAT and PI is in place. For all the students who have appeared in CAT, Z or are going to appear in any other exam, right, are required to join the GD, VAT and PI program. जितना जल्दी ज्वाइन करोगे उतना अच्छे से अपना कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर कर लोगे that how to appear in group discussions, written ability test, group tasks, group exercise, group interviews, like personal interactions, personal interviews, right? Abhishek, I'm just sharing the link here. Click on the link and join, right? Now, Gradeup has also introduced installment payment scheme. So now 12-month plan fee can be paid in 3 installments. 18-month plan fee can be paid in 4 installments. Also, please keep in mind those who want to pay entire fee in one go are still having that option with them. You can pay your entire fee in one go as well, right? So here are the team members who will be mentoring you throughout: Pranav, Jatin, Vikas, Vijay, Ashish, Savitri, Sunojam, Anant, Ajay Sareen, it's me, Tapesh, Vikrant, Saral, Anurag. So we are the team who will be guiding you throughout, teaching you throughout, answering all your queries related to CAT and other MBA exams. So all the best, guys. Please keep practicing topic-wise quizzes, keep attending live classes. If you still have any questions on your mind, do let me know. Ratuja, you will be getting a call, right? You will be getting a call, so they will explain you each and everything. Is it done? Any other query? If any student has, do let me know. So if you want to me to connect you with the counselors, so do let me know. I will ask them to call you. Rutuja, have you joined our Telegram group? If not, please join. Right, I have just shared the link. Please join. Right. Okay, guys. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Which will catch up with you in next session. Right. So please join the Telegram group. So I have shared the link. I am sharing it again. Right. So they will contact you. Okay, guys. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Bye bye. Take care. Thank you. Thank you.